Oh, sorry, that's the wrong footage. There we go. I mean, it's still a fun game. It's still good. I had fun with it. Doom the Dark, Medieval, Spooky Ages. Have you noticed it came out on the exact day as Doom 2016? Or at least the premium edition did. After the unfair and cringe conclusion of Doom Eternal, where my boy Doom Guy got stuck inside of his bed, the franchise had nowhere else to go. God is dead. The demons are cancelled and are banned from all social media, so the developers decided to take us back in time. You know how in both Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal there was a lot of talk about Doom Guy's backstory, about all of the insane stuff he did against the demons?
The Doom Slayer.
How he was fighting for the Sentinels and the Makers. Well, we finally get to experience these events. Or at least a part of them. We always heard about how the demons pooped all over this one planet called Argent the Nur. When we got there in the previous games, it was already far gone. But now we get to see how it happened. The game starts as the demons are attacking the city of Kalim. Everyone's dying, seeing their families get butchered in front of their eyes, with no hope of survival. You know, the usual business. Oh, and before we continue, I gotta mention that this game is the first game my PC didn't meet the recommended requirements. I had to play on the lowest settings, and even then, the game looks amazing. But it does mean that occasionally, the textures won't load properly, and some people might be missing some eyeballs or something. It's not ideal, but it will turn this into a funnier video, so I'm okay with that. Anyway, we see the ones behind this invasion, a Heck priest from Heck and a witch. It doesn't seem like she's from hell herself, but she is helping them find some kind of important item, the Heart of Argent. Wow! For the first time, the demons aren't just killing people for the sake of it. They actually have some kind of goal. The priest knows they don't have a lot of time to find this item, because
Soon, the humans will summon him.
Humans? This isn't Earth. I thought they were called Argentians or something. The Sentinels are tasked to protect this village, or city, or whatever this is. But they can't handle all of these demons. We see a young King Novik making a strategic decision, which basically involves calling his daughter on WhatsApp and telling her, "Hey baby girl, can you please call my manager and tell him to summon the only capable man in this franchise?" Side note, these cutscenes really remind me of the cutscenes in Mortal Kombat. It has the black bars in the top and bottom of the screen, it's all dramatic with lots of dialogue and mostly unimportant characters talking about the plot. Anyway, she calls their manager. Remember those Maker bastards? This is Bishop Creed. The Sentinels follow his commands because he's a Maker. You know, like the Khan Maker from the last game? I'm gonna call him Fat Maker.
Fira, this temple must remain guarded.
The village of Kalim is a mining settlement. If it falls, everything will be destroyed, including your Sentinel energy reserves.
Launch the Slayer.
So Fat Maker is controlling Doom Guy. Yup. He has yellow eyes now. It's like when he had invulnerability in the original games. Anyway, Fat Bastard here sends him to assist the Sentinels, meaning he's going to do all of the work. But this asshole is not doing it because he's a kind soul. He sends Doom Guy because he wants to protect his own butt. He's afraid the demons will get him. Man, Doom Guy can't catch a break. Everyone's manipulating and controlling him in these games in one way or another. Samuel, the Makers, Mr. Satan, he's just a pawn. He always has been. But you know what happened to them in the end. Also, I don't think you need to control him in order to force him to kill demons. I mean, that's the only reason he gets up in the morning. I wish I had this much motivation to do, well, anything. Let's kill some demons. Because this is my first playthrough, I did not play on Nightmare difficulty. I chose Ultra Violence. Yes, I know, very shameful. I did finish it on Nightmare after that, and oh ho 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 boy, that was well, it was actually pretty easy, since I got really used to the game at that point. I even got all of the achievements. As you will see, this game is way slower compared to Doom Eternal. Now it's the slow ages. Get it? Did you get it? Because it's slow. I saw people call it Doom the Woke Ages because it has difficulty sliders. I don't even know what that word means anymore. So if something's too easy, it's considered woke now? That's funny and stupid. But even if it is true, this is not the case. Sure, you could make it easy, but you can also make it more difficult, which looks something like this. The point is, just because there's more difficulty customization, doesn't mean the game is automatically easy. You control the difficulty. That's literally the purpose of these sliders. Look, it's the classic HUD. Look at that face. But wait, it gets better. Now look at this, the original face, with all of the suspicious eye movements and the bloody nose. That's very nice. You have a shield now, which you can use to solve puzzles and break walls, but you mostly use it to launch yourself at demons and deflect their attacks. Also, the original imps are back. I love that. I love their design with the spikes. They are really tall and horny. Why do they sound like the Doom 2 Archvile? The new imps are here as well, and they have hair now. I guess they went bald after this game. Doom the Dark Ages feels like Serious Sam. You traverse these big arenas with tons of enemies who are attacking you at the same time. But unlike Serious Sam, you do not need to constantly walk backwards. Instead, you always charge forward and bash them with a weapon and a shield. I guess Doomguy is more serious. There's tons of enemies on screen, but the lower tier enemies are super weak. They usually die from one shot. I don't know if I like that, but I guess their sheer numbers can compensate for their lack of strength. The game is way more of a bullet hell now. You have an actual sprint button now, which wasn't the case in the previous two games, and that's because you move slower than you did in Doom 3. You feel heavy, like a tank. Maybe you are a tank, because when you drop down, enemies just explode from the impact. Even though there's lots of enemies, the action itself is kind of slow. Probably still faster than other normal shooters, but it's significantly different from Doom 2016 and Eternal. For those of you who play the Souls games, it's kind of like going from Dark Souls or Bloodborne to Sekiro. You're still a badass, but you're more slow and defensive. There's more focus on parrying attacks. Yeah, you can use the shield to parry, which is kind of a weird mechanic to have in a Doom game, but I love it. Whenever you see a green projectile or some kind of green attack, you can send it back and stun them. You have a melee weapon now. Like the chainsaw in the previous games, they have limited charges, but they make enemies drop ammo. Imagine you're punching someone in real life and suddenly bullets drop from their body. That would be cool, but don't punch people, unless they tell you that you're bad at video games. When the enemies have low HP, you can hit them to drop health. If you're wondering why the classic glory kills aren't here, Hugo Martin gave an answer.
It's all about player freedom, and there's more enemies on screen now than we've ever had before. If we're asking the player to stop and play a synced animation for every one of those, it was getting very, very tedious. And we wanted, in this game for you to be able to perform multi-glory kills. You know, that scene in the opening of 300 not the opening, but in the Hot Gates, the battle scene in 300, the Zack Snyder film, you know, when Leonidas breaks the phalanx, and it's just that beautiful side shot that tracks with Leonidas, and it goes into slow-mo as he's taking out all these guys in one fluid action, and he throws away the spear, and he picks up the Spartan sword, and he just starts wrecking people. That was a major touch point for us. We wanted to make you feel like that in this game. Doing multiple glory kills in succession was something we tried to do for like 10 years, and just didn't really fit in the other games. Put it this way. If it didn't feel good, it wouldn't be in the game. There's no reason why we wouldn't do glory kills again. You know, we thought it was great. But really, it's about creating like a new experience for you guys. That's what's really important, right? We don't want us to just do the same thing again.
I'll tell you a secret though. The pre-animated glory kills are still here. You just need to jump to see them. Here, I'll show you some examples. They are less frequent, but they are majestic. The destructible environment is also majestic. You can't destroy everything, but you can destroy enough to go to jail for vandalism. Eventually we meet the Pinky Rider. I never even considered it, but if you had to pick one demon to use like a horse, it would be the Pinky. It's basically two enemies at the same time. After enough damage, you whack the driver away and then deal with the Pinky itself.
Oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
The levels in this game are huge. They feel like mini open world games. At least some of them. There's a big emphasis on exploration. If you're a kleptomaniac, you'll feel right at home. There are even optional bosses for you to kill. They're basically regular enemies with more HP. When you kill them, you rip their hearts out, crush it in front of their eyes, and increase your maximum HP, armor, or ammo. Cool. Even though it's the medieval times, they still got toys. Doomguy finds a dragon holding off a freaking titan. This is only the first level. If you don't like this game after seeing this, you're out of your mind, bucko. As cool as the dragon is, he's not strong enough to stop the titan. Which means we have to do a turret section. I don't know why. I'm sure all of you know this, but turret sections aren't exactly the most fun mechanic in video games. It basically becomes a point and click game. At least it's cool seeing his limbs and all of the meat chunks flying out of him. We kill him and wait. What about having to use a crucible on titans? I thought they were invincible. Am I the only one who remembers this plot point? We just kill him with a turret. And lightning.
Titan down. All remaining enemy targets have been neutralized.
A cutscene shows King Novik watching over Doomguy. He's afraid of him, but maybe also concerned for him. He knows that he's just being used as a weapon by the makers, but there's nothing he can do about it. You can't fight with your manager unless you want to get fired.
That's it. This is it. I'm done. Through. It's over. I'm gone. Finished. Over. I will never work for you again. Look at you. You think you're an important man? Is that what you think? You are a laughingstock. You are a joke. These people are laughing at you. You're nothing. You have no brains, no ability, nothing. I quit.
They lied to us. And now he has a leash.
The Makers felt a weapon as powerful as the Slayer
Should be guided.
And you agreed.
He's not one
of us. They want assurances, and so did I.
Meanwhile, in Hell, the priest and the bitch are watching how the Slayer is kicking everyone's asses. Again, it's revealed they are working for this Shinnok-looking ass, Prince Azrek. Azrek? Unlike pretty much every other demon, he's not just using brute force. He's kind of pissed that nobody can stop Doomguy. That's why he's working with this witch to find an item that will supposedly grant him immense power. One day, he stood in front of his managers. Yes, everyone has managers in this universe. No matter if you're from heaven or hell. There's bureaucratic shit everywhere. Ezrek told them, "Look, I have ambition and a strategy to defeat Doomguy." They immediately came in their pants and gave him a whole army. He wants to be the king of heck, but he can't do that as long as Doomguy is ripping and tearing. He's going to try and stop him. Good luck with that. The next level is Hebef.
The lost city of the bed. This before your time with the Sentinels.
What? No, it wasn't. Doomguy was literally there, defending the city with the Sentinels. Demons are attacking again, and of course, Doomguy needs to come and help. The fat bastard doesn't want to send him at first.
Well, listen up, City Jim! I ate a baby!
He wants to keep him close for his own protection. You know how they're treating Doomguy? They just make him stand at the center of this place, surrounded by a force field. At least give him a chair or something. Because he's a badass with an iron will, he manages to break free of their control. But that doesn't last long.
Slayer vitals increasing.
It's remarkable how he can survive the power surge.
Yes. We purify his mind and leave only his hatred for the demons.
But his resistance to the Teller's influence is increasing.
They suck his soul dry and leave only his rage. That's why he's so pissed off all of the time. That's probably part of the reason he has brain damage. They do it with a tether. Hey, that's what Sam used on him in Doom 2016, to somewhat control him. Sam probably knew what Doomguy had been through, that he was being controlled by this device, yet he still used it on him. This makes him way more of an asshole. But this context adds more meaning to what he said here, because yeah, Doomguy probably doesn't want to feel it again.
I'm sorry for the jolt, but I didn't think you'd allow its installation voluntarily.
After they regain control of him, they dispatch him to the battlefield.
Huge guts.
You know, it wouldn't make sense to have a chainsaw in these ancient times. So let's have a shield saw. Now you can cut weaker demons in half with a single throw. If you use it on a bigger, stronger demon, they will be stunned by the fact you're shredding them from the inside. While they're stunned, you can shoot the shield, which will make your bullets bounce and hit nearby demons, but only with a specific weapon. It's still awesome. If you hold the throw button, you can activate slow motion. You can do this endlessly. It's also really useful for breaking other shields, which then gives you armor. Anyway, we need to defend the city? I don't think there's anything left to defend, just move to a different planet at this point. Also, I don't want to save people who are so afraid of me. I get it. I'm a 7-foot tall behemoth with yellow eyes. But I'm a nice guy. I collect toys. I used to have a rabbit.
Just hold it.
You don't earn XP anymore. Instead, you can find money and valuable items, which you can use to upgrade your stuff. Collect gold? Am I playing Thief? The stone imps are back, from Tag 2. This time though, you don't need to use a specific weapon against them. You don't really need specific weapons to deal with any enemies. The imps can deflect your shield, because they're rock hard. Well, they can deflect your saw. If you smash into them with the shield, they explode. There's also a Spectre Imp. That's 4 imp types. You think I don't see you? Come on, you. Ow. Hey, stop worshipping demons. It's bad for your health. Are you friends with Olivia Pierce? No, wait, you're probably friends with Betruger.
Making progress, Marine? Your journey is futile.
The man-child returns. Mancubus. He's looking pale. He has a big backpack. If you want, you can tear both of his arms apart. He will literally be unable to attack you. He'll just kind of stare at you, furiously awaiting his death. Same goes for the Hell Knight. I almost feel bad for them. Playing Doom the Dark Ages kinda feels like playing Bioshock 2. You're a big, heavy dude who can use both hands at the same time, only here, instead of superpowers in your left hand, you have a cool shield that can cut anyone in half. Also, in both games, you technically have a sharp object that lets you dive into enemies. So yeah, Doomguy is a big daddy. He keeps killing demons, while in the background, a Titan is fighting a freaking mech. You can actually watch the whole fight if you want. Look at that destruction. Oh no, the Titan is winning. No, leave him alone, you big bully. Oh wait, he's getting up. And, ooh, right in the face. And then he gives him another right hook. I feel like I'm commentating on a boxing match. The big robot loses at the end. I'm telling you, everyone's incompetent except for Doomguy. You know what? Let me show you how it's done. Doomguy gets inside a freaking mech, a giant robot. The Doombot? There was a mech in the Doom Fortress. Maybe it's this one. We know Doomguy can build the best PC in the universe, so piloting a big robot is nothing to him. If you did not feel like an indestructible death machine before, you will now. Everything is crumbling and exploding around you. You're like a kid in a playground playing with his toys. Everything is so squishy and tiny in comparison to you. You can literally just punch the environment and disintegrate everything. It's very fun. Unfortunately, and unsurprisingly, controlling a robot doesn't compare to the regular gameplay. It's cool and fun for a few minutes, but there's not much variety. You punch an enemy for a while, until you can do a finishing move, you do it, and move on to the next target. It feels like a really simple beat 'em up. If you avoid an attack at the last second, you can charge up your finisher move quicker. It's a fine system, but it becomes repetitive pretty fast, and I guess the developers realized that because the robot sections are really short. You do get a giant gun, the sentinels just drop it for you. Now if you dodge at the right time, your gun somehow becomes empowered, which allows you to shred anyone in seconds. I don't know why avoiding attacks makes your weapon stronger, but I'm not complaining. All of these shootings and explosions have caused the nearby reactor to overheat. So Doomguy decides to casually take out the core, but it's about to explode and blow the whole city away, so that's not very good. What to do? Oh, I know! I'll just shove it inside of this guy, and then shove him into the abyss. I am so smart. Oh shit, I didn't think the explosion would be this big. Get me out of here! Fira saves us, but the Fat Maker wants her to give him his annual report, so we head back to base. I told you there was bureaucrats everywhere. We see Azrek intimidating a priest. He wants him to tell him the location of the Heart of Argent. Based on every priest we've seen so far, you'd assume he's also a treacherous asshole. But no, he's actually pretty chill. He sealed it away from him. He doesn't even really care about all of this shit. All he actually wants to do is just spend time with his lower class family. That's wholesome. While all of them are talking about all of that boring stuff, Doomguy finds a new weapon, the Skull Crusher, which is exactly what it sounds like. You use the skulls of your enemies as ammo. You put them in a meat grinder and shoot out tiny shards of skulls. That's whoever came up with that is an insane genius. Imagine you're a demon and you get killed by pieces of your friend's head. Well, I don't know if demons can be friends. Maybe Calyx. You also find the Impaler, or what it should be called, the Nail Gun or the Penetrator if you're feeling nutty. It shoots giant spikes. They do a ton of damage and can pin enemies to walls. It's like in the first Fear game. It is awesome. How's it hanging? Looks comfortable. This is where I had my first death. The extra lives return once again, but this time they don't activate automatically. You can choose if you want to use them or not. I think that's for the best. Sometimes it's better to just reload your checkpoint and not waste them. Also, you can only have 3 of those this time. Why are the Lost Souls so big now? They're bigger than Doomguy. I could hold them in my hand in the previous games. Up until now, it felt like the developers were being forced to stick to the source material. Doom 2016 was basically Doom 1, but with more jumping. You know, a stupid company opened a portal to hell, demons are here, kill them all.
Must kill them all.
Doom Eternal was basically Doom 2. There's demons again, but now they're on Earth. Obviously there's more characters and plot in the newer games, but the basics are the same. But now they were finally free to go in a completely new direction, make up whatever they want. I mean, they wouldn't follow in the footsteps of Doom 3. Doomguy is protecting the Sentinel's base and meets the first boss, Vagary. It shares its name with that spider boss from Doom 3, the one with the big butt, only this one is bigger. In this game, bosses have a stun meter below their health. If you fill it, they will get stunned. Shocking, I know. This boss escalates the bullet hell aspect of the game. It likes to shoot a lot of slow-moving balls at you, but dealing with some balls isn't difficult. At the end of the day, you shoot it until it dies, or at least until you perform a fatality on it. The demons are closing in. They're using spaceships from Hell, which might sound weird, but it was established in Doom Eternal that Hell is actually technologically advanced. Doomguy is a total badass, but he can't really deal with a spaceship. I mean, he could probably punch it until it explodes, but he can't jump that high. So he summons some help. Look, the dragons are fighting over me. I'm sorry, ladies, I want something bigger.
Oh, hi, Mark.
A giant dragon with a mounted turret. I don't know if there's anything more awesome than this. It's even more awesome than the other time Doomguy rode a dragon. This one has a name, Serat. It even has a backstory. A long time ago, he was wounded in battle against the demons. He was about to die, but Doomguy decided to save him. If you have an opportunity to save a dragon, you take it, damn it. Since then, he became loyal only to the Slayer, and they became best friends. Doomguy is a man of extremes. He either has the most masculine, dangerous pet ever, like a dragon, or the least threatening pet, like a rabbit. Look at these tiny enemies, they can't do shit against me. Unfortunately, just like with the robot, the concept is super cool, but the execution leaves a little to be desired. Obviously it's fun riding a dragon and flying in the air, but in practice you're doing one of two things: shooting some turrets or tentacles while avoiding their attacks, or chasing random gunships, which is fun at first, but kind of becomes repetitive, especially since there's barely any challenge. The ships don't fight back, so like with a robot, these sections don't last long, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. You play as a fast, mobile beast, but ironically, you spend most of the time standing in one place and shooting an enemy that's also not moving. I think this was a missed opportunity to have battles against really giant demons, where you actually need to use your enhanced speed to avoid their attacks. You do fight a really big Keko demon, like twice, but it's the same as the turrets. If nothing else, it's at least worth it for these brutal fatalities. Just watch. Anyway, we need to take down some spaceships. We need to do it from within. So Serath drops us off at each one. One of them has a cyber demon. He has wings. I think this is my favorite cyber demon design in the franchise. He looks like an actual devil. Also, I never thought I would be able to parry an attack from a cyber demon, but you can basically stun lock him to death. There's a finishing move you can perform on him, which is a combination of how you kill him in Doom 2016 and Doom 3. Just look. On another ship, we find a new plasma gun. And what are you doing? Are you okay? Are you dancing? Is this your way of distracting me? 'Cause it's working. Okay, he's fine now. This is where we find the super shotgun. It's always a great moment in a Doom game when you find the super shotgun.
Groovy.
This may be the most deadly super shotgun in the franchise, or maybe it only feels that way because the enemies are generally weaker, but it's awesome. I don't know how he reloads it with one hand though. I mean, he needs to manually put 2 shells inside, but it looks cool, so who gives a shit? Look at the way it tears parts of their bodies. I am one-shotting a Hell Knight. It can pretty much do the same to a Mancubus or an Arachnotron. They have a chain gun now, like a mini spider mastermind. No, it's actually like the ones from Legacy of Rust. It's exactly the same. Anyway, we humiliate a different spider, and then a cutscene plays. Apparently, the antagonist found a heart. Doomguy attempts to stop him by walking really slowly, but this bitch stops him with a force field. He's like, fine, I'll kill some demons for now. They finally found it. The heart. It will give Azrak the power he needs to defeat Doomguy once and for all. But then, Novik shows up? He has a plan.
How brave. Ignite the charges.
Ah man, look at those textures popping up. That's unfortunate. Novik throws a smoke bomb and escapes with the heart. I don't know why he needed to blow the whole place up for that. Seems like a waste of explosives. Oh, this is Valen, by the way. You know, the betrayer? They both look significantly younger, which means this game takes place many years before Doom Eternal. It confirms that Doomguy doesn't really age. He looks the same in every game. Maybe that's a fair trade. Fight demons for all eternity, but also look young for eternity. Okay, prepare for some funny visuals. Oh yeah, this is the good stuff. It looks like Barry Burton's facial hair decided to escape from his face.
Just a moment.
The Maker's IT staff are monitoring the situation. They see the demons closing in and the Sentinels, so they're like, we should send the Slayer to help them. They're not going to survive. But the fat bastard tells them, But then who will protect us? I'm scared. While they're arguing, more and more people are dying, and Doomguy can feel it. So he decides to snap out of it.
You may have invaded my mind and my body, but there's one thing
The Doom Slayer
always keeps his stride!
off before he kills us all!
They decide to threaten him with some turrets, but he doesn't give a flying fuck. He starts walking towards them and punches the wall.
It would appear that the Slayer no longer wishes to be detained here.
Yeah, no shit, genius. I don't think he wished to be detained in the first place. He's about to break the wall, so they think of killing him, which they can't, but they see him as the Khan Maker's property. They decide it's best to just send him down as he is now. That tether bullshit is still on him, so they do still have some control over him. Meanwhile, hell is closing in. Shinnok is coming. It's tense and scary. You know what's scarier?
Sound the alarm! Prepare for battle!
No. Look at the top of his head! Look at his lips!
This fucking face. Even if I was a powerful demon, I would have run away if I saw this monstrosity. The Slayer is here. Everyone decides to hide behind a big force field, while he goes and takes care of business. Hey, there's some marauders here, training some noobs.
What have we got here? A fucking comedian, private joker. Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister. You had best unfuck yourself or I will unscrew your head and shut down your neck. You're so ugly you could be a modern art masterpiece. I will gouge out your eyeballs and skull fuck you!
Why am I so short compared to them? Are they all like 8 feet tall?
How tall are you, Private? Sir, 5'9", sir! 5'9", I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
This is a great level. It's huge. It's like a little open world game. There's tons of enemies and places to explore. This is where Doom the Dark Ages really started giving me God of War vibes. At least the newer God of War games. We get to visit secret caves and collect treasures in big open environments. How is there fire underwater? Not to mention, we have a shield that can parry attacks, we can stick it into different machinery in order to solve puzzles, we can stick it into enemies, we can throw it and make it come back to us, just like the Leviathan X. There's a lot of similarities between these games, only instead of a whiny little kid, we have a super shotgun that cries bullets into the enemies' faces. Before heading outside, we get a new melee weapon. The flail, and then we get to reenact that scene from the first trailer. Bam! Like with the fists, the flail has 3 charges. though unlike the fists, it can hit multiple enemies at once. It also deals more damage to shields. After a few upgrades, it will also light enemies on fire, which will make them drop armor. Give me your juicy heart, yeah! As far as I know, this is the only guaranteed way of refilling your armor. That's why I kept using it for the majority of the game. Or you could use the regular shotgun to flame enemies. Whoa, I'm fighting tanks now? They're probably really strong. Oh, never mind. As you might have noticed, this game doesn't have weapon mods. Instead, you just get double the weapons, each with their own unique upgrades. After a few levels, you'll have like 8 weapons, on top of the shield, gauntlets, and flail. Unlike Doom Eternal, you're not really encouraged to constantly switch between weapons. You constantly get ammo, and you can mostly use one weapon for the whole game. I stuck with the super shotgun for like 95% of the time. I usually switch to something else just for a bit of variety, and not out of necessity. It does make the game less strategic and way easier, but whether that's a good or a bad thing, it's up to you. There's a lot of people who were crying about how Doom Eternal forced them to use different weapons. So hey, this is for them. I don't feel good about saying this, but this game feels like a very safe version of Doom. It seems like the developers were afraid of alienating people after what happened with Doom Eternal and its DLCs. They wanted to make it more simple and accessible. There's less of the things that people love about these games. Way less verticality, less decision making, less glory kills. I'm pretty sure there's way less enemy types. It's a very simple game. I get it, they wanted to bring it closer to the classic games, but it doesn't have the same impact as Doom Eternal and Doom 2016 had. Even the new stuff like the shield are really easy to master. It's still really cool and fun, but there's not a lot of challenge. It's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're the kind of person who hates the complexity of Doom Eternal and you just wanna shoot demons with the super shotgun, then you will love this game. Inside another cave, we find the chain shot. It's basically a gun that shoots a small wrecking ball. It might be the most unique weapon in the game, and when you realize its true power, it becomes the most overpowered weapon in the game. Unfortunately, I only realized it on my second playthrough. You can charge it to launch your bolts even harder, but that takes time. Almost 1 second. But get this. If you parry an incoming attack, it will automatically charge your next shot. Meaning, if you're fighting against an enemy that constantly hits you, like the Cyber Demon, and you parry his attacks, you will basically always have a charged attack. Which means you can shred him in less than 15 seconds. Eventually, Heck decides to stop playing around and summons a massive titan, an armored titan. That's really cool. But then, a random, dumbass mech pilot decides to fight him with one hand. The titan just easily slams him to the ground. He then takes him by the arm and slams him into the force field, causing it to shut down, which leaves all of the civilians inside in danger. Nice going, genius. Now we have to defend the whole place with another turret section. They didn't even need to open the door to get inside, they just teleported. But the Titan does need to open the door. That's discrimination. Is it because he's tall and all of the demons are jealous of him? Eventually, we break off his armor and then we break him.
I've fallen and I can't get up!
The Revenant is waiting for us. He can fly without a jetpack this time, and he wears a robe, like he's trying to cosplay as the Grim Reaper. He also gets demolished by the super shotgun, almost instantly. After killing all of the demons inside, we are informed that Novik is in trouble. Azrek found him, and is about to execute him. But then he almost poops his pants.
Here's Johnny!
You fucking bitch. Who do you think you're messing with? I'm gonna kick you. I'm going to walk really slowly and hit you with my spiky ball. Ah, damn it. Why did you have to remember that you can use both hands? Ezrek takes the heart from Novik. He's finally going to achieve the ultimate power. It's empty. The heart is empty. Well, that sucks for him. He's understandably angry. He threatens to kill Novik if he doesn't reveal its location. But then he almost poops his pants. Again. I'm not sure if he said it to Novik or to Ezrek to scare him, but that was the most badass run I've ever heard. Novik survived, the villains escaped. Now Fira wants to help Doomguy herself. She tells him that this tether thing is wired to a detonator, meaning if he removes it completely, he will probably die. Doomguy, my guy, have you thought about just taking the armor off? She then explains that if Ezrek gets the heart, he will become super duper powerful. And then she says that line from the trailer.
Anyone who wields it, they'd have the power of a god. Stronger than maybe even you.
I think that's the longest conversation anyone has ever had with him. And of course he doesn't say anything throughout the whole thing. He just kind of nods at the end, like, yeah, don't worry, I'll kill that bastard. Meanwhile, that same bastard somehow took control of a maker drone and massacred the other IT workers. He then attempts to seduce the fat bastard by telling him to join his side. He basically wants to use him to defeat Doomguy. Fira drops Doomguy in some ancient forest. She's going to meet up with him and give him more power, but he needs to clear the area first. The Whiplash is back, it has grey hair now, and it's less annoying. It looks like an old hag, but more importantly, remember the Doom Hunters from Doom Eternal? We get to meet them before they became a tank. They can mess you up if you're not careful. They activate a shield when you're far away and deal a lot of damage. But when you get good at parrying their attacks and you stay close to them, they become a joke. We meet up with her and she leads Doomguy to some ancient place. This is where the heart is located and the Sentinels can draw power from it. She does that and it makes some blue jizz come down, which then empowers the shield. Okay, we basically came all this way to get an upgrade for the shield. That wasn't really necessary, but thanks I guess. This is one of 4 upgrades you can get. Each one determines how the demons will get fucked whenever you successfully parry their attacks. The first one summons an earthquake. The second one turns you into Virgil from Devil May Cry. You summon multiple ghost swords, and yes, you feel motivated. The third one summons a turret, which is kind of OP. It does a lot of damage and will kill most enemies in a few seconds. This is the one I used the most. And the last one summons lightning. Kind of makes you feel like Zeus. Wait, is that another God of War throwback?
Zeus!
After this little side quest, Doomguy is finally going to his favorite holiday destination. They can just open portals to hack whenever they want. He needs to find the antagonist. At the same time, The fat bastard decided to betray everyone and turns into a snitch. He tells Ezrek exactly where we are. They discuss Fira and how she's important in some way. Hey, I thought Doomguy was the main character. Why are you talking about her? But yeah, she is important. Anyway, we're in hell. For the 20th time in this franchise. Oh hello, Titan! Our objective is to find a robot. The Sentinels tried attacking this place in the past, which they failed to do, of course, because everyone's incompetent except for Doomguy. Anyway, they left at least one robot here, so we need to find it and fix it. We need to do it in order to get to this spooky castle. So we find a battery, find the robot, fix it, and get inside. I'm skipping over some stuff, but there's not much to talk about at this point. It's mostly fighting. You get another big freaking gun, and eventually have to get out, because the big bad robot can't climb a few rocks. Come on, man. At least you find a robot toy on the robot's head. Nice jiggle physics. After some intense fighting, we finally come face to face with Ezrek. We're about to fight. No, wait, he actually runs away.
Our time will come.
What? You spend 2 whole levels tracking him down, you finally get to him, and he's like, nah, son, we'll do it later. Bye. But the way he said it though, it sounds familiar.
Our time will come. Our time will come.
The game has quite a lot of moments of, okay, I guess we're going here now. Character A is telling you to go somewhere, then character B updates the situation and says, well, now you're actually supposed to go here, because of reasons. It's like the story is happening around you, and not really to you, which was kind of the case in the previous games, but Doomguy was actually an important character to the plot, especially in Eternal. It was a personal quest for him. Here, he just kinda feels like a weapon that everyone is using for their own purposes, which, yeah, is the whole point, but it makes him feel like just a tool instead of a character. He's like the BFG, a big fucking guy. We return to the base and oh no, the demons are here. Who could have seen that coming? Then some hell ships show up and everyone's freaking out. So we hop on the dragon to take care of them. Good boy. Doom the Dark Ages has a lot of levels, but most of them are really short if you don't explore and just do the main objective. Also, there are weird tentacles coming from the sky. The Gecko Demon shows up from the portal, and he doesn't look like the Gecko Demon. He looks more like the Octobrain from Duke Nukem. Eventually, one tentacle has had enough and decides to pull Fira and the obese maker into the void. And another person, I guess. That sucks. Doomguy attempts to stop it, but he's too late. The portal closes. You know what that means? It's time for another segment of, oh well, I guess I need to go here now. Fortunately, the makers have a plan to get inside of this portal. How are we going to get inside if we couldn't even do it with the dragon, I hear you ask? Well, how about finding the BFC, which is a BFG crossbow, and using it to wake up freaking Cthulhu? Yes, I said Cthulhu. He's part of this franchise now. Is that good enough for ya?
And the oversized gargoyle?
That's no gargoyle, Agent. That's Cthulhu.
Fellas!
We free him from his chains, so he would take us to that weird dimension. Doomguy jumps on his back and stabs him with a shield. I don't even think he noticed. In any other game, we would lose our sanity just by looking at him.
Staring at the statue's making my head pound.
But here, we casually freed the most ancient Lovecraftian entity just so we could use it as a taxi. Oh, before we left, I gave my dragon some demon meat. He needs to watch his diet. Everything's green. There's tentacle monsters. Yup, this is my backyard. Haha, I'm kidding. I don't have a backyard. There were some Lovecraftian influences before, but now it's not an influence anymore. A Lovecraft dimension with eldritch gods is just part of this franchise now. In any other case, this would have been a survival horror game. But when you play as Doomguy, even Cthulhu is afraid of you. By the way, the Keko demons look like this because they were corrupted by this Lovecraftian dimension. Now they live here. Good for them. Are you sad that some of your favorite demons aren't in this game? There are some new and unique enemies here, but a lot of the older ones are gone. Like the Baron of Heck. We all like the Baron. He's not here, but say hello to his Lovecraftian brother, the Cosmic Baron. He's by far the toughest enemy in the game. He's fast and hits hard. He has a ton of HP. However, you can humiliate him by parrying his attacks and abusing the chain shot. Even though we're in a completely different realm, we're still fighting the same demons. I guess they can teleport here. We also fight this wizard guy. He can make a clone of himself, and I guess he's the archvile of this game. According to this note, the wraiths we've encountered in the previous games actually came from here, or at least that's what some people say. Also, they're not kidding about the impossible geometry. Look, there's water on the walls. You jump inside and now you're swimming. Now you're not. Now you are. Now you're not. Now you are. Now you're not. Reality is twisted here, which makes for some nice puzzles. If you're not careful, you'll get stuck in an endless loop of darkness and misery. You know, kind of like day-to-day life. Doomguy finds the last melee weapon, the Dread Mace. A mace full of dread. It's a really big and strong stick, able to one-shot most enemies with a single strike. Unfortunately, a single strike is all you get. It only has one charge, and you have to wait a really long time for it to regenerate. That's why I didn't use it much on my first playthrough. However, you can accelerate the process by parrying attacks. On my second playthrough, I kept using it until the end of the game. You eventually get an upgrade that gives you an additional charge if you parry an attack. Then you can dismantle a cyber demon in 5 seconds. That witch that was helping Azrek actually came from this place. The reason she helped him in his quest is because she wanted to resurrect the squid god, Cthulhu.
The time of ascension is now. No longer shall we be shackled to a dying cosmos.
I forgot why we even came here. Oh yeah, to find the commander and the fat guy. Just as we're about to find her, the big boy himself shows up, picks Doomguy up, and swallows him whole. I guess Doomguy looked really tasty. Doomguy is casually being digested by an old one, and he doesn't give a fuck.
You have been ingested. Vital signs stable.
When you're trapped inside a giant beast, the best thing you can do is find a nearby organ and blow it up. That's a little life hack for you, in case a Lovecraftian monster eats you. You can thank me later. Doomguy uses his big, fantastic crossbow to destroy whatever this is. It was probably his heart, because, well, Cthulhu dies. Yup, it was nice knowing you. I never know what to say in these situations, but the witch is kind of upset.
The Old One, lost forever.
Yeah. If I knew that my god died because of some angry man with mental problems, I would be upset too. We face off against another cyber dude, another Baron guy, and finally find her. Doomguy is about to save her, but he's actually going to find a power that is actually greater than his. Actually.
The Sentinels know so little about themselves. She has the spirit of an ancient Sentinel god within her. A wraith who are descendants of this realm. Here her energy becomes fully realized. And it can be harnessed. We should kill him. We'll need something more permanent.
More permanent than death? Also, motherfucker, I knew it. I knew he would betray us. Eventually Valen will betray me too. I've had it with these people. Everybody betray me.
It's not over. Everybody betrayed me. I fed up with this world.
The witch is still helping him, even though her god is dead. She pulls some of the Wraith's power and stores it inside of this device. Look how happy he is. It goes inside of his body, which empowers him. Enjoy it while you can, 'cause I'll be back for you. You big meanie. King Novik and the Sentinels aren't too happy about his daughter being trapped, so they attack with the large maker, but there's not much they can do.
Bishop Creed. Where is Thera?
The Slayer came, and there was a struggle. We should leave. Now.
You're so ugly you could be a modern art masterpiece.
Everyone out, now.
This asshole broke my helmet. He also became hornier. Look at those horns. While everyone is getting slaughtered, Doomguy is chilling in this, wherever this is. He's trapped on a small platform, floating above an ocean of acid, surrounded by 3 old ones, who created a force field with their minds. Are they as powerful as the other Cthulhu, or are they just noobs? I don't know why they didn't take his weapons, but he tries using his shield to break out. It doesn't work. So he gets the genius and insane idea to basically overload his suit. The blast is so powerful, it takes out the force field, all of the squid monsters, and the platform he was standing on. He falls into the acid, and I had no idea what to expect at this point. But it does lead to one of the best moments in the franchise.
They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear until it is done.
He casually recreates the opening to Doom 2016. That was awesome, right? Nostalgic even. You know what's not awesome? Having a zombified, melted face Or maybe it is awesome, if you're into that sort of thing. Did he die and became a zombie? Or is he alive, and his face just melted from all of that lovely acid? Well, actually, he did die. If you look at his lovely face, you can see it looks different. If you change it to the classic HUD, you'll see that he's definitely a zombie. The Doom zombie. For the first time, Doomguy went to hell because he died, and not because he was angry and wanted to kill demons. But it doesn't seem to affect his combat abilities in any way. He can kill demons just fine. He just looks scarier. I don't know if he died from his suit exploding or from the toxic green stuff. I guess his weapons died with him too. To be honest, I was kind of upset at first when that greasy meatball told him to kill Doomguy and he was like, "Nah, let's do something else." I thought, oh, here we go. Another villain who doesn't kill the protagonist when they have the chance. Welcome to the dumb villain club, you dumb dummy. But no, he actually gave him a fate worse than death. I think. What I think happened is that he trapped him in a place where the only escape is death. And if you die here, your soul goes to the deepest parts of hell. We're basically playing as a spirit, with guns. I gotta point something out. Seeing him in this cutscene without a helmet really reminds me of Guts from Berserk. They look almost identical. They're both big angry dudes with black hair, a similar haircut, and a muscular chin. They both been fighting demons for years, and nothing seems to be able to stop them. Speaking of Berserk, did you like that segue? Berserk is back, and it's the only power-up in the game. It works differently here. It's like a combination of Berserk and quad damage. You get a damage boost to all of your weapons and melee attacks, and you can use your melee weapons as much as you want, meaning you can take out the mace and just one-shot everything. Just keep swinging that baby until everyone's dead. To any of you who are not watching this and are just listening to the video while you wash the dishes or do some other weird activities, when I said swing that baby, I didn't mean that you're swinging an actual baby. I'm not a psycho. Babies are small and soft. They would barely do any damage to the demons. Oh, and if you have the classic face, it will show that he's invincible. This place is literally located in the very deepest butthole of hell. All of the souls are herded like cattle, awaiting their eternal damnation. There's literally a line. It's like waiting in the grocery store. And just like in a grocery store, they expect you to pay at the end.
Payment required.
Sorry dude, that's all I had. I hope that was enough. You know shit just got real when your objective says, return to the mortal plane. Wait, so is there an immortal plane somewhere?
Stop doing that, you cringe lord!
Doomguy realizes that the only way he can get out of here is by using this pirate ship. He makes all of the demons walk the plank and swim with the fishes, gets inside of the cockpit and takes control of the wheel. Being dead is cool and all, but I wanna go home and play video games. So, let's get back to life, baby! Doomguy awakens in some kind of limbo. He did escape from hell, but he's not really alive yet. No, for that he needs a demonic ritual. Wait, what?
By blood right, we invoke the dark powers to call upon the damned.
I'm going back.
The coffin gets filled with blood, and Doomguy rises from inside of it. Getting out of a sarcophagus will become a trend for him. This moment mirrors the part from the end of Take 2. Red hooded figures are watching Doomguy, only there they wanted to put him inside of the coffin. Valen goes to greet him, but when he steps on the pentagram, it lights up, a foreshadowing of his pact with Hell and eventual downfall. Hey, you fixed my helmet. Thanks, but I don't like all of this. He's looking around like he's thinking about killing them. He doesn't really like it when people perform satanic rituals. I wonder why. By the way, that was Valen's son. We learned that his name is Merrick, and he's not important in this game.
The outer defenses were slaughtered. Novic's forces are surrounded.
The Creed just surrendered. He's not responding.
The Creed. I'm gonna go pay a visit to that white meatball. Remember how Novik was kind of trying to stop Doomguy in Eternal, which takes place after this game? I'm starting to think that wasn't King Novik, and instead was some kind of hologram designed by the demons to manipulate Doomguy. He survived in a fucked up Lovecraftian dimension, survived in the deepest parts of hell, got resurrected, not to mention how many demons he killed all by himself. At this point, Novik knows all of that. Also look at how many times he hypes him up, kindly encouraging him to rip and tear. But here he still tells him, "Oh, you are just one man, what can you possibly do? There's no way you can win by yourself." King Novik is actually like your personal manager, assuming you have a good manager. He gives you some difficult tasks, but he cares about you, and wants you to feel comfortable. On the other hand, the Creed is like the CEO of the company, a greasy piece of shit who doesn't do anything besides eating McDonald's. He couldn't give a hoot about you.
The Creed ship is powering up.
The Makers won't allow this. The Slayer will decide his fate.
You're damn right. With the help of our pet dragon, we fly all the way to the Maker's ship, destroy their puny defenses, and land safely. Thanks, dude. Give me like 5 minutes. I've got an asshole to kill. Remember this symbol? Remember the Maker drones? This is the only time they appear in the game, outside of cutscenes. They're even more of a joke than last time. They're mostly here to die in one hit.
It is your duty to protect your creed.
I mean, there's not much they can do against me. Oh yeah, look at these graphics.
Princess Nick, please, help me. I could still be of service.
You will be of service. Of service to my bullets when they hit your fat, disgusting, lying ass. I'm gonna beat you up like I did with the Khan Maker. Well, I didn't do it yet, because this game takes place before Doom Eternal. Whatever, time to die.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs.
Did what was asked of me. I'm worth more to you alive than dead. I can bring you Prince Azric.
You're even more disgusting than I realized. Is this your strategy? Are you hoping I'll be so disgusted that I won't touch you? You're almost right, but I'm still gonna kill you.
Look at me, I'm a big fat slob!
I've got bigger titties than you do! I've not seen my willy in 2 years, which is long enough to declare legally dead!
Azaric is keeping her alive on his ship. If she dies, his power would die with her. I can take you to her.
Oh, well, in that case, I will spare you. Psych! Welcome to the meat grinder, you fat fuck! Are those the Dragon Balls? Fira is trapped inside of an Iron Maiden, which is probably not very comfortable. As long as she's inside of it, Azric gets to keep his newfound power. Or at least I think that's how it works. Not only is he stronger, but I guess he can also control more demons. He can summon titans whenever he wants. He sends them to hunt and eventually destroy the Sentinels. Things aren't really looking good for them, so of course they need to wait for Doomguy, like always, but Doomguy needs to wait for his robot to be finished. This always happens with tech support. They always take too long.
It won't be ready in time, sir.
Refueling complete. Royal Atlan online.
Fine, I'll go out like this. It's not ready, so we only have one hand. It's gonna be difficult to fight, but I have to defend these people. Psych! We're actually piloting King Novik's robot. It's even cooler than the regular mech. Okay, it's pretty much the same, but it has an additional move. If you max out your combo meter, you can summon turrets to basically one-shot anyone. This is really easy to do and makes the combat even easier. This is the second to last level. It's more about the fun than the challenge. You don't even have any secrets or exploration here. Don't worry, the challenge will come very soon. But first, we get to kill Father Cthulhu again. They brought him back using technology and hell magic. Cyber Cthulhu, or Mecha Cthulhu. It's kind of sad that all of that hype from the trailer amounts to basically 2 minutes of a really easy boss fight. Oh well, time to die again.
I don't think he'll be bothering me again. Maybe he should have checked the menu first.
Man, only Doomguy can beat up Cthulhu with a giant robot. Who's next?
as you are the only one they fear.
Doomguy literally tore the head of an old one, and we know he can kill the devil god who created everything, including the Lovecraftian Squidward. Do you really think you can lay a finger on him? Well, actually, he's going to do something much worse. You'll see. This is the best fight in the game. One of the best fights in the whole franchise. Which is kind of a bold statement, but it's great. He's kind of fast. He has multiple phases. If you haven't mastered the parry system yet, you'll die quickly. I did find him pretty easy on my second playthrough, but on my first one, I died multiple times and refused to use an extra life. I wanted to do it in one go. He's even strong in the story, not just in gameplay. That power he gained wasn't just for show.
This is true power.
After enough damage, he transforms and becomes even stronger. Canonically, this is probably Doomguy's hardest fight. Maybe it's the only difficult fight he had. He didn't even break a sweat against Mr. Satan. Ezrek's power comes from the Wraith, and he did say that it's more powerful than even Doomguy, so it makes sense that Doomguy would struggle. In fact, he struggles so much that eventually, this happens. You... Mother... fucker. I finally have another pet and you take him away from me? Oh, you're going to suffer. I guess rage can make you more powerful than something that, just 2 minutes ago, was more powerful than you. I guess they used Dragon Ball logic, but it's good, because Doomguy is able to rip out the heart and return Ezrek to his weaker self. This causes a chain reaction. Fira, who is trapped inside of Ezrek's ship, loses control of her powers and creates a giant explosion. It blows up the ship, which gives Ezrek just enough time to escape. Coward. Coward.
Azric's life signal is still active. It is transmitting now from the Hell Dimension.
Fira returns safely, but the Wraith is giving her a hug from behind. Doomguy gives Novik the heart, which he uses to turn her back to normal. Okay, great, good for you, whatever. I just lost my dragon. Don't worry, I will avenge you. Damn it, now I have to get a new dragon. The final level is called Reckoning.
Now, the time has come for a reckoning.
This level is non-stop action. All of the strongest enemies are here. There's an optional encounter with 2 Barons at the same time. Probably the toughest fight in the game, unless you use the better freaking call soul. If you kill them, you get a squid toy. Anyway, let's get revenge on this horny bastard.
Kill him. Avenge your god. I command the Horde. Kill me, and this war will never end.
Doomguy is about to finish him off, but this bitch interrupts him again. So he does the only logical thing you can do when an old lady doesn't let you have your happy ending. He uses his shield to throw her on some cables, and then uses the shield to cut her body, which then causes her to explode. You know, normal stuff. You know how in the last 2 games we got a POV shot of Doomguy killing the final boss? The Spider Mastermind, the Icon of Sin? We don't get that here, unfortunately, but it's still satisfying. I hope you've learned your lesson, you demon shithead. You do not mess with a man's dragon.
Fatality.
While Doomguy was getting his happy ending, all of the Sentinels were being surrounded by demons. Even though Valen has the hammer from Tag 2 and Fira has her Wraith powers, how did you let this happen? Stop being so useless and incompetent. Doomguy shows up to save them, like he always does, but this time he doesn't fight anyone. I think he's tired. He just throws Ezrek's head and is like, yeah, I killed your king. Checkmate. According to the rules of chess, you have to fall back. They're like, yeah, I guess he's right. Let's go. Wait guys, wait for me. They go back to the base. The makers insist that the obese meatball was walking alone and they have nothing to do with his actions. Then Fira says some motivational stuff about how they should only trust themselves and not the makers. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. We then cut back to Heck. Doomguy basically took control of that maker ship, where he was imprisoned. He now uses it to launch himself on the surface and attack the demons, just like he will eventually do with the Fortress of Doom. old habits die hard, and killing demons never gets old. He was doing it before he became a demigod, and he was doing it after becoming a demigod. He was even doing it when it wasn't even him. At least until they locked him up in a fucking coffin for the 20th time, but at least, for now, he gets to enjoy himself.
Slayer, prepped for launch.
Well, that was Doom the Dark Ages. Id Software did it again. Kind of. For now, there's no bonus content, like Classic or Master levels. Maybe they'll add something in the DLC. Speaking of which, I'm calling it now. The name of the DLC will be The Betrayer's Saga, or The Betrayer of Sin, or something like that. It's going to revolve around Valen, his son, and how he betrayed everyone. Regardless of all of my complaints about this game, it's really impressive how they managed to mix up the formula every time. Every game is significantly different, especially this one, yet every single one of them is so good. I'm probably not going to replay this game as much as I did with Doom Eternal, but I still love it. I love the designs of the enemies, especially the classic ones. They are timeless. You could say they are eternal. I like that there's an actual antagonist. Someone you can point your finger at and say, hey, you smelly joke. We had that in Doom Eternal, and I guess Doom 2016, and even Doom 3. But those were always stupid humans and creatures who messed around with hell, like naughty children, playing with something they shouldn't have. Which is nice. This time though, the antagonist is an actual demon, with the personal goal of eliminating the Slayer. Everything else is kinda forgettable though. We got some new lore. Having the Wraiths and Cthulhu be from the same dimension is cool, but that's about it. The characters aren't really interesting. Like always, the best part of the story is how Doomguy cuts the limbs off his enemies and hangs them on his wall. He probably does that. Doom Eternal fanboys, like myself, are probably going to complain that it's not as hardcore as Eternal, and there's not much decision making. You can just choose one weapon and stick with it until the end of the game. Yeah, it's kind of weird that there's a bigger emphasis on being slow and defensive in a Doom game, but as long as it's fun, I don't really care. And it is fun. It seems like the main purpose of these games, other than to give you a really fun video game, is to make up a story for the purpose of giving you the opportunity to do some cool shit. This franchise was never about having a hardcore difficulty, it was about having fun. At this point, it should be clear that Doom isn't just one specific experience. Every Doom game has its own identity. Doom 1 and 2 were fast-paced shooters, with a big emphasis on exploring big maps and finding secrets. Doom 64 was the same, but more spooky and atmospheric. Doom 3 was the first to have a focus on story. It had cutscenes and characters. They're not really good or memorable characters, but they're there, except for Betruger of course. He's the best. It tried to be really spooky and is considered to be a survival horror game. It actually tried to portray the demons as scary monsters. Doom 2016 was a return to form, according to a lot of people, but that's not really the case. It was more like an evolution. It was a fast-paced shooter, like the originals, but now you can actually jump, even double jump. It had a massive emphasis on verticality, and somewhat of an emphasis on story. Then Doom Eternal came out and took it even further beyond. You could be in the air for like 50% of the game if you wanted. It was more colorful and cartoonish, and had a much bigger focus on story. It had lore, and actually developed Doomguy as a character. He became more than just a dude who wants to kill demons. And now we have the Dark Ages, which is more like 2016. The gameplay is simpler, and Doomguy is more like a weapon than a character, which is fine, I guess. He wasn't really a character in the original games. At the end of the day, the story, the characters, the Sentinels, Argent de Nur, the makers, it's cool, but none of it actually matters. The core of these games is and always has been, and always will be, this guy, the psychotic demon grinder that really loves animals. One guy against hordes of demons from hell, beating the everlasting shit out of these satanic buttholes, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I love this franchise, I love watching it evolve, and I hope that it will actually be, well, you know. Thanks for watching up until now, I really appreciate that. Like, comment and subscribe, do all of the YouTube stuff. Also keep doom scrolling and follow me on Twitter. Yes, I have a Twitter. I'm gonna pretend to be a real YouTuber for a second. So what did you think about this game? What is your favorite Doom game? Leave your comments down below.